you can say entrepreneurship or just the bio-entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is, of course, I would say straight away that it's not an easy job. It's a very difficult one. It's a long journey which you are going to take for several years of your life. And as all people say that it's always alone on the top. Right? So if you are jumping into the entrepreneurship domain, then always remember that there are three pillars on which the entrepreneurship relies on. It can be entrepreneur or any technology entrepreneurship, anything. So one is of course technology, management, and the capital. Right now, technology, as we talked about, is very important part when you are innovating. Management is important when you are taking that product to the market as well as building that product. Right, you might have this CRISPR technology, but if you can't manage it properly in developing a product, it won't work. Even if you develop a product, even if you can't take it to the market, it won't work. If you take it to the market but can't sell, it won't work. Right? So management is very important. And when I say management, it doesn't consider just the marketing manager. It concludes everything. People's management is also going to be the key part of those things. Right? The culture development, people's management happens. So very important thing. And of course, capital, without which nothing is going to happen, nothing is going to move. Right? So these are three main important things which you have to take care of when you are building a startup. Right? So when I say technology, we already talked about that as a young startup, as a young innovator, you guys can be building a new technology, right? But taking it to the market requires not just a technology, right? It requires a good product, conceptualization of the technology to the product, and then taking it to the market. Now what happens that as an innovator, you guys can come up with a new perspective, a new technology, or new applications, right? But you don't have that logistic, distribution, and sales capability. Now what to do during this time? That tie up and collaborate with the giant organization or the established organization who have developed these capabilities. Now this is a win-win situation for both of you. For any biotechnology company, taking the developing product and taking it to market is a long journey, at least 5 years to 7 years of journey. Now, if you collaborate for the distribution and marketing and sales part, then what you do? You are limiting your risk because you are already utilizing their capabilities, expertise for that part. And what they get, that they get the new portfolio or the new product or a new technology into that portfolio. So it's a win-win situation. They can provide you with the financial, the management capabilities and other aspects. You can provide them with a new technology. Of course, you can take it by your own self as well. There is no denying that. It's just that the journey will be longer, arduous, and rigorous. So you have to figure it out that how you want to take that product forward to the market. Either you want to take it by yourself, or you want to collaborate and take somebody else's expertise and split the shares and the profit which you are going to generate. Right. Management. So for example, whenever you are building a good product into your lab, even if you are developing a product which is equivalent to a gold and you are giving it for free, nobody is going to come and get it from you. Because if people don't know, nobody is going to come. Right? So there are sort of a lot of good examples where people build fantastic products but doesn't work in the market because they lack the marketing capability. So marketing management is one of the important things to take your product from lab to market. And believe me, building a product is easier than selling it. All the entrepreneurs, when they are done with the product development, then they figure out, okay, सबसे important काम हो गया. But after a few months or a year of struggle into start into the market, they realize that they have just finished with the easiest part of building a startup. So when you are done with the building a product, always remember, it's just the beginning. That's the part which was the most easiest because it was solely dependent on your effort. But now you are taking to the market, there is somebody else's head is also going to be involved, whether he or she has to buy it or not. You have to convince, and convincing people, it's very difficult task. Right? So management, one thing is marketing management, of course sales management, but when you are building, people's management is also very key important part. Right? The culture development which happens in your organization, what your company is going to be in future, it solely depends on the people's management. what kind of DNA, what kind of genes you are incorporating into your company, and that's the responsibility of a founder. What vision founder is driving the company, that vision needs to be embedded into his or her employees or team members. And that is the responsibility of all of you guys if you're building a company. That what your vision is get propagated down the line in your company. Even just a very contrasting example. There are two giants organizing in our India, right? Tata and Reliance. They are two giant conglomerates. So if you talk to anyone, everybody will say that Tata is more employee friendly. Talk to anyone, right? Reliance always pay more but exploits people more as well. So there are two different kind of genes has been embedded into the people and the cultures. Of course, both are beneficial in some or the other way to the different people. But the vision and the values which you incorporated into your people is going to drive your company forward, which is very important. You build people, people build company. You are not going to build a company. You have to build people. And if you build people, people are going to build a company. So always remember, if you are building a startup, try to increase the capabilities, skill sets of your people. Don't try to do everything by yourself. It never works. Because you are one person, you can able to take care of 10 things, but then there are 100 things which needs to be taken care of. And it can only be taken care of if you train 10 good people in your company. So always try to do that increase the skill sets and the capabilities of your team members. They are the people who are going to build a company. So again, there is a saying in the business world, you build people, founder builds people, and then the people build company. Company doesn't get built by one person. It's not a solo act. You can be a good artist, you can be a good painter, but you can't be a good businessman if you don't build people, right? Yeah. Again, the capital is if you are building a biotech startup, then probably keep a run rate of at least 5 to 10 years of the capital. You have to think about that in a long period of time. Of course, you can raise subsequently, but you have to be into at least for a 5 years period into the biotech domain to succeed your company. Generally, people say 1,000 days for other businesses, for technology aspects, but if you are building a bio company, it's a little more time requires for it. So keep it at least 5 years for it. If you be in the domain for the 5 years, keep innovating, keep developing slowly, you are going to establish the company, right? And so take that run rate of 5 years. You can raise funds from different investors, the government grants, and other things, and we can definitely help you with those things too, right? We have a good connection with several VCs as well, whom we can put you in touch. And try to raise as much money as possible whenever it is possible. Because once the cookie jar came, you never know when it's going to come back. Right? So always try to raise as much money as possible every time.